Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Championship Prediction League. Welcome back to the channel. Delighted to be joined by Gab Sutton for our Week 32 Championship predictions. Now, Gab, obviously, this weird stretched out game week has meant a few games have already happened, and we did predict them in our chat. We just didn't get a video out in time. You have gained 1 point, I've gained 2 points, and Ollie has gained 2 points as well, which means the scores stand at I've got 136 and you and Ollie are both on 118, closing the gap after a fantastic weekend that you had, Gab. Remember, everyone, if you're playing along at home, 5 points if you predict a game with 5 goals or more and a correct score, 3 points if you predict a correct score, and 1 point if you correctly predict a correct match result. So, Gab, we have 6 championship fixtures to dive into this weekend, culminating in that Monday night top of the table clash with Coventry versus Middlesbrough, which we'll come to at the end of the video. But first, QPR versus Blackburn, mate. And Blackburn, as we speak, sit in the bottom 3. And we're becoming increasingly concerned about Rovers, aren't we? What do you think to this one?
Yeah, I think Blackburn are definitely. I look at QPR and I see a team with a real playing identity, and there's such a clarity about them. I don't see that with Blackburn. I didn't particularly see it under Valerian Ismail. I think under Damien Johnson, it is very much about containment. And they're yet to appoint a manager. They've been linked with Gary Rowett, haven't they, and one or two others, whether they're going to be quite keen to get Rowett in. But I think they are going to be going to Loftus Road very much with a containment job in mind. But I wasn't sure about their performance at Norwich. I'd question whether their attacking players, particularly someone like Campbell, is good enough against the ball for that kind of system, which is kind of like a 5-3-1-1 it looked like. And then also I'm not sure whether they have a proper left side, so they're a little bit imbalanced, a little bit in containment mode. I think QPR are going to force them back for long spells of this game, and I'm going to back the home win. I think it's going to finish 2-0 to QPR.
Very interesting. Very much along the same lines as me, mate, to be honest. Blackburn, I believe, have only beaten Sheffield Wednesday, and that was only a 1-0 win in their last 10
you've got to treat that
outings.
as Sheffield Wednesday are almost like a League Two opponent at the moment, aren't they? So you almost take a right out of it of the records.
Exactly, and that's their only win in 10 league outings, I believe. QPR last home game beat Coventry as well, so I'm also going to back QPR in a low-scoring game. I've gone for a 1-0 QPR win. That brings us to Sheffield Wednesday Millwall, and unfortunately, we don't talk about Sheffield Wednesday very much because, as you say, they're performing basically like a League Two outfit at this moment in time. They haven't scored a goal since Boxing Day. It looks like a struggle for them to get another point this season. That is the situation we're in now, which is very sad at Sheffield Wednesday. Barry Bannon's gone. There's not a lot to that squad anymore that is anywhere near championship level. And Millwall look like a really good team. So I'm not going to go for the bonus points, mate, but I am going for a very heavy Millwall win, 4-0 away from home. I presume you're going along the same lines.
I might go for the bonus points, Simon. I'm going to say 4-1 and maybe chance it that Sheffield Wednesday are going to score once in order to try and get those bonus points. So, yeah, I'm going to say Wednesday
since Boxing Day.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give them that.
Well, I thought you were going to go for the 5-0, mate.
I could have gone for the 5-0 just as easily, couldn't I?
Yeah, exactly. Difficult time for Sheffield Wednesday. It looks like their relegation is going to be confirmed in the next couple of weeks as well. And Millwall looking really, really good and getting that away win at Wrexham as well, which was so important. A much more even game, I think we can expect at Derby County as they host Swansea. Now, Gab, Derby have this thing where they are incredible away from home. Only Middlesbrough have now got more away points than Derby County this season, but only 18 points from 16 at home. Difficult, this one. You'd almost fancy the Rams more if they were away from home than actually at Pride Park. How do you see this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Derby County, they've got lots of firepower. It's kind of Bobby Clark almost. It feels like Bobby Clark running the midfield on his own at times because they've got real strength in central defence and they've got firepower up top, and Bobby Clark's sort of the one they go to in midfield. From my point of view, I fancy Derby. I think they've put in some competitive performances recently, and especially that counter-attacking display at Bristol City that we spoke about at the end of January. Derby Swansea City, meanwhile, they're in good form. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Whether I don't think they're quite going to capture. I mean, they're only 5 points off the playoffs, so maybe we have to include.
Can't rule
them
anyone
in.
out, mate, can you?
I know, yeah, it's mad. Swansea have been in good form. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw for this one.
Oh, that's what I've got.
Oh, no.
I've gone for
Sorry
a
about that.
1-1. It's all right. I've gone for a 1-1, mate, because Swansea have Zamfir Potnik, top scorer in the league, and I can't back them to win because they've lost 9 of 15 away from home. And even though Derby are poor at home, they do put in competitive performances. So I think it's the most sensible prediction we can both go for, as is probably obvious by the 1-1 draw. Right, 3 games to go of this shortened weekend episode. Preston versus Watford. And Gab, we will get to see what an Edward Still team looks like at Deepdale. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how Edward Still sets up Watford, because I think that there's so much to work with there, and it's a really exciting squad. And also really excited to see what Edward Still's got up his sleeve, because he's not somebody we'd heard of particularly. Will Still, even before he came to England, was a name that was heavily in circulation, which wouldn't be true of Edward Still. So a real curiosity about the game from that point of view. But as much as there's intrigue about Watford, I think Preston North End have proved very reliable. They've got back to on the road after 3 straight defeats with a point at Ipswich and a victory as well last time out, Paul Heckingbottom side against Portsmouth. Not necessarily brilliant in that game, but I think they've shown enough in the last 2 games to suggest there's a certain amount of reliability about them. I'm going to go with North End to win this one by 2-1.
Oh, very interesting. I am going the other way with this one, actually.
Okay.
I think there's an argument to be made that Javi Gracia, for all his qualities, was limiting this squad slightly with
Okay.
his
Yeah.
kind of rigidity, I think we could probably say. I don't know, maybe just a fresh voice with fresh ideas might just let them off the leash a bit and might let them. We want to see this Watford team attack. We don't want to see them camped inside their own half. I'm going to back an instant new manager bounce because I think Preston may be a bit fortunate to beat Portsmouth as well at home in that 1-0 win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win for this one and maybe take a bit of a risk and believe in the new manager bounce and maybe just a fresh voice to sort things out for Watford. Be very interested to see how they get on for the rest of the season. Penultimate game. I'm already finding this one hard to tough, Gab. Portsmouth at home against Sheffield United, who was so difficult to judge in that game against Middlesbrough because Middlesbrough looked like the best team in the league right now. But Sheffield United nearly came back into it, didn't they? And Chris Wilder's so good at getting points at this stage of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Portsmouth are a really good out possession team at the moment. They've only lost 1 of their last 5 games as well, and that kind of supports the idea that the January editions have made them tough to beat. And I think they might climb the table. I don't know if. But the interesting thing is Sheffield United, they've not drawn very many games, just 3 draws all season, which is absolutely crazy. I'm going to back Portsmouth for this one. I'm going to back Portsmouth to get a 1-0 victory and maybe put a major dent in the Blades' outside hopes of a late playoff charge.
I don't know where I sit on Sheffield United really right now. They need to start winning games quickly if they are to be in that playoff picture, as we're kind of talking about all season that they will do and kind of get the momentum up. But even if you look at a team like Norwich and Southampton right now, they maybe look like they're ahead of Sheffield United. It's so difficult for them. I think if they are playoff candidates, they have to go there and win. I think they've got a lot of quality. Yeah. I don't know what was going on with Bamford in the game against Middlesbrough. He seemed like he would be out injured and then he played, but he didn't look fully fit. If he's got a bit more sharpness, I think it'd help them out. I think Callum O'Hare and Gus Harmon need to have more influence as well. Yeah. I will back them to edge it, and it'll be a really important 3 points for them. It's such a tough place to go. I think we need a statement from Sheffield United, though. I'm going to go for a late 2-1 win for the Blades, which, Gab, brings us to Monday night, mate. I've got my score prediction written down already. Coventry versus Middlesbrough. But I'm going to let you talk about this one first.
I think this is absolutely, absolutely huge. I think it's worth a lot more than 3 points. I think if Coventry win this and win it convincingly with a really strong performance, it puts them back at the top of the table and it really gives them a boost going into the last third of the season. And they have another opportunity to really grasp automatic promotion. If they lose this game, I actually think it's very difficult then to envisage them finishing in the top two, even though they still, as things stand, have that 5-point cushion over Ipswich Town. They'd have 2 games in hand. I think that would put them really on the back foot, and I think it's difficult to envisage it then. So it's almost like a 6-pointer on paper, but it's worth a lot more than that in terms of psychology. And I don't like to pin too much on dramatise individual games, but this really feels so huge in the automatic promotion race. And I suppose Ipswich Town are going to be looking at it and hoping for a draw, aren't they?
Possibly, although maybe some of their fans would just say Middlesbrough can run away with the title now.
Okay.
If Coventry get beaten here, they're much more catchable than potentially Middlesbrough. So I'd be interested to hear Ipswich fans' point of view, by the way. What score do you want in this Middlesbrough-Coventry game? Get in the comments down below. Gab, what about you for a score prediction?
What about me? I nearly got away from that, didn't
I? Nearly.
I'm going to say it's going to be a 0-0 draw. I think it's going to be it's like the stakes are going to be so high. I think it's going to end up in a stalemate. That's what I think.
Wow, and a Coventry clean sheet, which has been a bit of a rarity. They did draw 0-0 at home to Oxford last time out, though, of course. I disagree with you. I think what we've seen from Middlesbrough recently has been a level this season that we haven't seen from pretty much any other team in the Championship, even though Coventry went on that winning run similarly. 6 wins in a row. The first half at Sheffield United, I couldn't believe what I was watching. The dynamism, the forward passing, the overwhelming of the Sheffield United defence. Hackney's unbelievable on another level. And I look at the Coventry team a lot, and Frank Lampard doesn't know his best team right now, which is a real issue. He also doesn't know his best centre-back pairing, which is a massive issue heading into a game like this. I fear, and there will be a preview, by the way, with myself and Johnny from Borough Breakdown coming on the channel later in the week. I'll go into this in a lot more detail on that. I fear this could be the statement win for Borough and like a real performance, a real, not they're getting promoted, they're going to win the title. I think Coventry are going to lose 3-0 at home to Middlesbrough. And I don't think, I think we look at this game as a top of the table clash from the outside and we're all very excited for it. But if you look at the form recently, you're looking at the best team in the league versus a team ranked 12th or 13th or 14th.
Yeah.
Coventry have a very good record against Middlesbrough, but I'm not sure that will be enough to separate them on the pitch. I think it will be quite a big difference between the two teams, unfortunately. Maybe I'm just playing it down from a Coventry perspective. Of course, I should do that. And if we do win this, we're back, baby. But I can't see it, mate. I have to think with my head and not my heart on this one. I do think it'll be a big win. Coming back to you quickly, if it is a 0-0 draw, who do you think goes away the happier? Surely Borough?
I actually think Coventry might be happier because I think it just gives them a bit of stability ahead of. They've got some home games that are or some fixtures in general that are slightly less daunting. Going to West Brom, there's an opportunity there. Sheffield United is obviously going to be a tough game, but then they've got Stoke at home. In terms of home games coming up, I suppose is where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Stoke at home, Preston at home, Southampton at home, Derby at home, Sheff Wednesday, obviously.
That doesn't sound easy to me until you get to Sheffield Wednesday, Gab.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think, I think those home games are going to be crucial. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Get your score predictions in the comments down below. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll regroup on Monday or Tuesday next week to see how we did after this massive weekend of football. Hope you're all looking forward to it as much as I am. But myself and Gab, or potentially Ollie, will see